Well, sometimes projects come to you. So here we got a little old McCulloch. It's one of the neighbor's saws that I got dropped off, and we'll help them out and get it rehabbed here. I guess the pull starter broke, but boy, this thing's definitely seen some use, that's for sure. I mean, things are kind of loose, and well, the oil cap's kind of a little bit funky. We'll see if we can't give this thing a quick little rehab. Can't tell if that's a Mac 6 or a Mac 8. Well, maybe we should read the data tag. Okay, a Mac 6. It's kind of a neat little saw. It's pretty compact. I mean, you know, it's an old school saw, that's for sure. All the pieces are cast aluminum, or well, maybe magnesium, I'm not sure, but it's the old school build construction. But it's really not super heavy. So I guess in addition to the obvious problem where the pull cord is no longer with us, it was a bit of a hard starting saw. It took about 15 pulls to get going, so we'll probably pop the covers off, or you know, figure out where the carburetor is. Might be an air leak, or you know, heck, might just need some tuning. I guess we'll find out. I hope this electrical tape isn't structural. Well, a little bit of structure. It was holding the rubber down, but we pulled the handle out and definitely got some cracks going on the framework there. That looks like a prime candidate for putting a hose clamp around there. We'll pull things apart here to make it easier to work with. One thing I noticed that's cool is it just calls out straight SAE 30 oil for the chain oil. You don't need no special bar and chain oil. So we pulled the gas tank and the recoil combo off the side, and check it out. That's the fuel outlet from the tank right there, that little barb. That goes directly into the carburetor, you know, through that little socket right there. There's no fuel lines. That's amazing. I mean, talk about ahead of their time. With today's ethanol fuel, I mean, yeah, you have the fuel line in the tank to worry about, but that's pretty awesome. That's slick. I like cool innovations like that. That was a pretty easy recoil to put a new rope on. Boy, that looks like a condenser down in there. Boy, if that's actually the case and this thing's points, I mean, for the amount of crud and the amount of hours on it, I wonder how many times, if any, the points have been adjusted. We're going to have to check the spark and see what that looks like. So we pulled the plug out, and I mean, as far as like old school chainsaws go, very rarely do you see one that's actually burning that nice. I mean, it's a dark, you know, chocolate color, not super rich, not really lean. I mean, that's kind of like right on, in my opinion, for a good work saw. We might tighten that gap up just a little bit, but other than that, I'd say that's still good to go. Kind of hard to spin that flywheel, you know, without losing a finger and watch the spark at the same time, but it's got a nice blue spark. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Well, it's going back together now. We actually have a functioning pull start. We was able to tighten up the handle enough that it's pretty solid. Maybe no hose clamp needed, but the structural electrical tape's back on there. You can tell that this thing was owned by somebody who always got the most use out of stuff. Maybe, you know, just like yours truly. There's an extra hole drilled on the bar because the chain is stretched to the point that there's no more adjustment. That's how you get your money's worth out of something. Well, there she is, back together. It's definitely no showpiece. This thing's going to be going back into service, so yeah. Got to go put some gas in it and then give it a tuning. Hopefully the carburetor's, you know, hanging in there. Otherwise we'll be tearing it apart again going into that. Well, that was way too easy. okay. Maybe it needs a little bit of adjustment.